to change a unit of measure. Right, so we're not changing the value, we're just changing, are we going from feet to inches, right? 1 foot is 12 inches. They're the exact same length. It's just we're using either feet to describe that length or inches to describe that length. The measurement itself doesn't change, right? 1 yard, 3 feet, still the same distance.
And a meter is like 2.8, right?
Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Kilograms.
We set up proportions to organize the conversions. So that's going to be our way to keep everything lined up, keep the units of measure in the right spot so we don't confuse ourselves. Labeling is going to be something that's really important for this. So we'll start out really simple. Again, I know some of you could probably do this without creating a proportion, but we're going to practice the proportions with the easy ones. So one of the things you will always be given is a base conversion, something to give you one, like a ratio of 1 to something, so that then you can line it up and find the other value. So for this one, our base conversion is going to be that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Okay, 1 to 100, that's my ratio. So you will always be given some sort of base where it's 1 to something, and then you set it up given the information you have. One of the most important things with proportions is if you put meters in the numerator here, you have to put your meter measurement in the numerator over here. You have to line up the 2 units of measure. So something meters gives us how many centimeters? So then I'm going to look at what I'm given. I'm given 5 meters. So that's where I'm going to put my 5 next to the meters. And my unknown is centimeters. So what letter am I going to use to represent an unknown value? X. Yep. Okay, thank you. Yep, this should start to look familiar. I know you guys did a lot of this in 7th grade. Okay, so now's where we draw ovals to connect these, right? And we're going to cross multiply to create an equation to figure out how many centimeters are in a meter. So 1 times x is x, which is 1x. 100 times 5 is 500. But I'm not finished yet. That's not my final answer. What does this 500 represent? It is, because if you look back, x equals centimeters. Well, where is our x?
Right here.
Next to the centimeters. So I know that 5 meters equals 500 centimeters. And that's my final answer, where you put it all back into the original 5 meters equals 500 centimeters. If you just left it at x equals 500, I don't know if you know if that's meters or centimeters. So you have to take it the step further, so I know that you do understand what that's asking for. So, Adnan, that's the top of the page right there. Yes, sir.
You could know that x equals 500 if you put x in the centimeters and number 1 says 5 centimeters equals blank centimeters.
5 meters equals, yeah.
And if you put x in the blank.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
Just take a picture of it so you can put it on.
Okay, thank you.
Feel bad holding up the entire class.
I should.
Alright, shut up. Alright, go ahead.
Okay. Example 2. How many ounces are in 5 gallons? And again, I'll give you a base conversion. 1 gallon equals 128 ounces. Where will my label of gallons go for my second fraction? Numerator or denominator? Numerator, because I have gallons in the numerator here, so I need to write gallons over here so that they match up. Which means ounces will go down here. I know I'm trying to convert with 5 gallons. I don't know how many ounces that is. So I'm going to create my loops. Some people call this butterflies. I did have a student last year who referred to it as, and this is really gross, but like Band-Aids. They said they thought they looked like Band-Aids. People just think of gross things when they think about Band-Aids. I don't know why. Like some people cringe when they hear Band-Aids. Listen, last year I had a lot of students that had trouble with it. They were like, don't say that word. Anyway. 1 times x is x.
Your students last year were bugging.
No, the freshmen are so much more different. It wasn't last year's 8th grade so much different than our 8th grade?
Yes.
Better or worse?
We're like so much more childish.
Probably better because I'm here.
I will not comment on last year's 8th graders, but this year seems a little bit better.
Okay.
One time my friend said that.
And that includes you guys, so I mean, that tells you a lot about last year. Wow.
You're annoyed, but the kids last year were like more annoyed than us. That's pretty
Chill
hard to
out
do.
while you talk about it.
Mario.
Last year was,
Soccer
but you know,
and
honestly,
me.
I think you guys have changed a lot since last year too. I think last year was just difficult for all kids because school was not like a thing you had been going to regularly, so it was hard transition. No, last year was your first year that, yeah, 6th grade you did half and half, right? So last year was like a shock to everybody's system, and it was very hard for some students to get used to coming to school every day and also behaving at school. So,
You're there.
yep, yes.
Which period last year was your bad class?
It really depended on the day.
It was period 3.
Every day it could have been any of them. Didn't matter.
You know,
3, 4, 5, 6.
But luckily it was usually only, they didn't all like rebel the same days. So my final answer is going to be 640 ounces equals 5 gallons.
Did you have Nixon?
Nope.
Luke?
you have Ben Howry?
I did, but he didn't come to school a lot, so
Ben?
I know.
Yeah.
Skip.
he was absent a lot last year, so.
I'll text him about that.
Yep. He was fine. I also had his
He's
sister
hilarious.
the year
I love him.
before.
He's my next door neighbor.
Oh, really? Lucky.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next page for example 3.
Thank you, paper. Thank you. What is his handwriting?
Oh, you missed it, Adnan.
She showed
Yes,
up.
please. Sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. Appreciate you.
For sure.
Oh. Alex, don't even start this with me.
Start it, Alex. Start it.
So for this one, it's going to require one extra step. We have 5 cups equals how many gallons? Hopefully right now you're already in your mind reasoning the fact that this is going to be a decimal value because 5 cups is not enough, right, to fill up a whole gallon.
Maybe 12 ounces.
So, well, we're trying to find cups to gallons. So we'll figure out exactly what fraction of a gallon 5 cups would be. So we're going to use our base conversion. So 1 gallon equals 16 cups.
Is this the second page for it? Right.
So the reason this is going to be different is because I have the cups value, right? So that's going to go into my denominator, and my unknown is now in my numerator. So when I draw these ovals, 16 times x is 16x, 5 times 1 is 5. So hopefully from 7th grade you remember what to do to get x by itself. We need inverse operations. So if multiplication is happening here, what do I do to get rid of the 16? Why do I, yes, Adnan?
Oh, you draw your line.
You divide. So we're not going to do the wall of equality today because we only have one step. But yes, we would divide by 16. That is now gone. Divide by 16.
16 is gone.
Put the x equals.
And
So when you do 5 divided by 16, you get 0.3125.
3, 1.
But that's not my final answer. Because remember, I need to know you understand what this stands for. So what will be my final answer for this that I'll put a border around?
No, I'm good. I'll get back to you.
0.3125 cups.
Gallons.
Gallons.
That's
Yep.
not even in gallons.
Equals 5 cups.
Right. So we just go back up here and we fill in the blank. 5 cups equals 0.3125 gallons. So tomorrow you're going to have a practice page, and it's going to have all these conversions you need to do, and every base conversion you need will be here. So like for number 1, you need this base conversion. For number 2, you need this base conversion. So you'll get this purple page to go with the questions, right? So that's how you will create this first part of the proportion.
Why did your paper turn green?
I don't know. I think it's sometimes how it reacts with like my shirt or my whatever I'm wearing with the colors. It's
Oh, it was probably put the purple sheet over again and then take it off.
There you go.
Alright.
Go, 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 go. It's not green.
Why do you not do it?
You guys are tripping.
I don't know.
No, it
Can't
was
you
green.
shut up?
It
I
was
know.
green.
I know.
It was green.
It's
Adnan, did you pause your game to be here? You seem a little bit grumpy.
What'd you say?
You seem a little bit grumpy. Did you pause
You
your
need to buy,
game to be
you need to buy that
here?
shirt.
What game, buddy?
Your arena?
You need to buy that shirt. You need to buy that
You
shirt.
gotta pause
Shut
your
up.
online game.
Actually, I was sleeping to get here. So yes, I'm a little grumpy.
Hey.
Okay, let's do number 4 here.
Attitude.
Look up on the
I
wrong
was
side.
like
Do you
3K
guys
right
read?
up once and
No,
I
I
said
don't.
no.
That would
I wish I did. I'm on
Like, there's somebody who has that here.
Sebastian.
I've seen it. Is it Sebastian?
Like,
I
what
thought
is
like
it?
it would be.
I don't know, what is it, like May something?
May 13th.
May 13th? I'm getting you one of those shirts, Anna.
You're not getting me any shirt. I would-
How do you pause Fortnite?
Exactly. How do you pause an online game? Huh?
Well, like my dad.
Okay, next one. Miles to feet.
You just boot them off their internet.
That's fair.
1 mile. Does anybody happen to know how many feet are in a mile? I've had one student.
Fuck.
So like,
5,200
Josh?
feet.
is there like 12 feet?
Wait, no. Not quite. A little bit more than 12. Grant, you're so close. You're so close. Adnan?
5,258.
56.
Bro, I was
It's 80. 5,280.
80.
Great,
Oh,
don't you
man, I
run?
should have known that.
Oh my god, I was thinking freaking inches compared to feet.
It's okay. All right, so we have miles and feet again. Remember, we are lining up the numerator with the same, denominator with the same. Okay, can't flip-flop those, you'll get the wrong answer. So I'm trying to find how many miles are in 10,000 feet.
Can we take a quick little guess?
Sure.
I say 1.62.
What?
Ooh, no.
What is it? How many miles is 10,000 feet?
10,000.
I'm gonna do 1.78.
No, it's not.
Okay.
1.79.
It can't be like
So
above.
weird.
It can't be above 1.5, right?
Yeah.
No, because
It have to be
it's
on the
5,680, so it can't be above.
It's 5,280, so that's,
Oh, so it
yes.
can't.
Royce, you
Okay.
goofball.
But if he was thinking of that number, he's actually would be right. It couldn't be over 1.5.
I would say 1.79.
Wrong. Wrong.
Okay.
I said that. You can't take my answer. Change it right now. Take it. Change it.
1.78.
I already have
He-
7.8.
he-
I have 7.8.
1.81.
I have 7.8.
1.81.
1.8.
1.81.
We'll find out.
You can't take people's numbers.
I said
It's
1.81.
not nice.
1.90.
You keep
Well,
taking everybody.
1.72.
Okay.
Fine, fine, fine.
1.80.
We're at,
1.81.
we have to divide again, right? Because we have this with the x.
Oh, can I change my answer?
So
2.3.
when we divide by 5,280,
Obviously, I'm making jokes, idiots.
x
I don't
equals,
No,
you guys ready?
1.78.
1.72.
1.79. Final answer locked in.
What's the
1.81.
Oh, I was 10 off. I was 10 off.
Guess what? Yeah, 8 off. 8 off.
Yeah.
But you guys were, sit down, sit down. You were pretty close. You all knew it was under 2, that's good. Pretty close to about 2, so I'll take that as a win. So we know that 1.89 miles equals 10,000 feet. Now if you did it in the calculator, it's more than that, it's like a decimal that doesn't stop, so that's why I cut it off at 2 decimal places. 1.89.
1.89 miles and 10,000 feet.
Wait.
Yep.
So like,
That's a doofy. Good job, Mario. We're so proud of you.
Oh, I just hit my knee.
Rub some dirt on it.
where's
Alex, don't even.
I just hit your
Rub
knee.
some
You
dirt
okay?
on it, boy.
And I hit it right on here.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Right on the bone.
Okay, so you guys are gonna do this one by yourself. 1 yard equals 3 feet. Go ahead and finish this one by yourself. Do this conversion.
Jordan,
Make sure you label correctly.
you guys can put me in. You saw my pics last night, didn't you? The pics. You guys know I caught an interception on Landon and Nikki. I practiced yesterday.
They got absolutely speared.
No, I did.
Please finish this conversion.
Shut up. Who else is Nikki?
What else are you?
Are you even
Please finish your number.
What?
Please finish. Please
Dude,
finish.
Mario, shut up.
For real?
I'm gonna look up on the wrong side of the bed.
That's Katie's
Sassy
too.
pants. What's your tutu?
Tutu?
Sassy pants.
What cheese?
Mario, is yours done?
I know how to answer.
That's Cap.
Does
That's
it?
the answer.
Do you have it? All the steps written out?
21.
Wrong side.
Yeah.
About they do count.
7 times 3, because.
4, yeah.
3 feet, 1 yard. So
But
just 3
I
times
need you to
7.
do the proportion for me, please, so you can
Oh.
know how to do proportions for tomorrow.
I don't know how to do any of this.
Yeah, it's 21. It's
21.
Maybe Reese.
Okay, so tomorrow, like I said, you'll be doing practice. Your quiz is next Thursday, right? Next Thursday is your quiz. I did find a GIM kit.